had a starting team of under 6 feet. And this team beat some outstanding basketball teams, just outstanding basketball teams. And people would just kind of shake their heads and think, how did they do that? Who are these guys?
When you look back at our team, you had Dave Meisner and Denny Breitbarth. Now, one guy's a big, husky sucker that is really a rock. The other guy's a little guy that can shoot the eyes out of a bucket. Well, I was in between that. See, I was strong and big, but I could run also, see.
Dick Boyer was steady defensively and a good blocker outer.
Yeah, right.
And actually a pretty good shooter too, but he never shot. Gary was a very good shooter and fast, so he really complemented the press.
It's a situation where there's not going to be another team like that, ever.
Coach Strokel's absolutely correct on the conditioning, because the conditioning was superb. You know, they just ran teams out at the end. Just ran teams out at the end.
This was a little more demanding because we were a running team. And as you remember, it was just run all the time. And we came from all over the place. And so they had to be in good shape.
My senior year, I was 5'10", 180 pounds. And I'll tell you right now, I have never been in such a great physical condition in my life. I mean, I could run forever.
So hyped, because they had beaten us on our court,
Yeah.
44-42
God,
earlier.
that was a game.
And of course, everybody was set for the showdown. They must have had thousands of people there, as many as they could. It took 2 or 3 of us to guard Chet, but Denny was the key. He was big and strong. He was like a tree.
It's pretty easy if you knew eventually that Chet was going to get the ball, and you just sagged in on him and you played him and bottled him up, and so that was probably a big mistake. I don't remember that we won that game by a heck of a lot of points.
I remember Gus Gillespie telling me, he was in the chairs behind the basket. He said, I was glad that when you laid the ball on the board, you stepped sideways, because Chet Anderson had kill in his eyes, or, you know, he was so mad, yeah.
First game of the regional, for example, we played against a team from White Lakes. It was the Montgomery brothers, and they were big. They were a huge team.
Every once in a while, they'd have to go big. They might have to go big for 4 or 5 minutes, and then they would put in Norris and Gildemeister with Dennis, and then Keith Hunter would come in also. After they wore those guys out, then they came back with the run. So that's just basically how it worked.
Since we're getting pretty close to the end of the year, I'd like to inform you on what actually the situation is in the tournament play, which is coming up starting next week.
Had a meal together. All 8 teams were in the Curtis Hotel, and there's a big banquet room, and did that. And then we went over and practiced at Williams Arena for like 45 minutes or an hour or something. And it just in awe. You can't believe that place. I mean, the gymnasium in Cloquet was really nice. You know, you go down to UMD, that was a pretty nice place. We go up to Grand Rapids or the Hippid Room in Hibbing. Those were all nice places. But Williams Arena was just, it was just out of sight. I mean, you just looked around, it's just huge.
Even though we were in great condition, as I said, 3 games in 3 days, and they weren't easy games. Bloomington was certainly a tough game.
Everyone kind of thought that Cloquet would get knocked off by Bloomington, and Bloomington would get into the finals or something. Kelly was a player, and he was reported to be one of the best players in the state in '63.
He was a big star for Bloomington, and they were just going to kick our
They were
behind.
#1 rated in
Yeah,
the state at that time.
and I think by in the first half, you probably picked up 3 or 4 off him, and that just ignited the team.
Because Meisner stole the ball from him, and that really rattled Kelly. I don't think there were many people who could take the ball away from him.
I remember the first time I ever saw this where a guy goes behind somebody and swipes, the guy's dribbling and you go around him and you kick the ball out. That's the first time I had ever seen that.
He must have kind of flicked his left hand this way and then used his right hand. I don't know exactly how he did it, but it was just amazing on how he could steal balls from people.
Bloomington was certainly a tough game. Sauk Center, though, I think is what really made the difference for the next game against Marshall.
The only time that we couldn't run someone off the floor was probably in the second game of the '63 tournament. I think it was against Sauk Center, and that was just a kind of a shooting nightmare. We couldn't run them down. They just shot they were too hot that time.
They were huge. I mean, they were not only big this way, but they were thicker than Denny by a long shot. But they ran the ball up the court on us. They did everything, and we could not. We pressed them hard, and it was amazing. 87 to 81. You know, we were tired.
And I think my socks are already down to my ankles. I remember going in the locker room, and we were just dead. I had Charlie horses going up and down my legs.
Because we spent time in the hot tub
Right.
after that. And I wish that picture would have never got taken, because it showed the other team that we were tired and probably gave them a little more hope. We beat Bloomington and had still a run and gun game with Sauk Center. The Marshall had a sleeper, and they got a chance to rest their starters at second half. Sauk Center just played us so tough that took a lot of steam out of us. There was no doubt about it. And we were tired at the end of that game. So that set the stage.
I thought there's no way we can lose. We've got just too much talent for Marshall. I mean,
It happened so quick. You know, you're just there for like 3 days, and all of a sudden you're playing for the championship for the whole state of Minnesota. It's just unbelievable.
It's an ideal setting. I think now that everything that has transpired before us, we can honestly and truthfully say that the teams that have played the best basketball are where they are right now. These two teams, Marshall and Cloquet.
People at that point in time had picked up on the fact that this was their team. Cinderella team, truly. Even though Marshall, Cloquet, probably about the same size towns back then, coming from small areas of the state, not the big Twin Cities area. We still had set the stage as being the Cinderella team because of how we played the game. Exciting, fast-paced, anything can happen type basketball.
The total attendance for the tournament, 87,474.
You know, you're nervous right up to the tip-off, and then all of a sudden it goes away. But, you know, the heart pounding and the nervousness and the numbness in your hands and arms sometimes.
Championship game. Lauren Johnson, he's open. Here's Forrest. Good! 12 points for Mike Forrest. Marshall leads 22 to 21. 48 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Meisner, the gunner. Welton takes a shot. It's no good, and there's the end of the first quarter. The score is Marshall 22, Cloquet 21. Breitbarth, jumper, good. 34-32, Marshall leading Cloquet by just 2. Lauren Johnson. Pounded by Meisner, foul by Meisner. That's the third foul on Meisner, and they may have to take him out. Rough break for Cloquet Lumberjacks. This is Forrest, the follow-away jump. Wow, 14 points for Forrest. Forrest has 14 points. to Forrest. Back to Hunter. He loses the ball. Picked up by Porter. Down to Lauren Johnson. There is the end of the first half. The score, 43 to 43. That goes into Meisner, lays it in. He was fouled on a play also, I believe, or did foul somebody. Meisner picks up the foul. His fourth foul. And he's going to have to sit out. And this is a bad blow for Cloquet. Here's Welton. 49 to 46. Here's Forrest. Look out. This time he didn't connect. Rebound to Boyer. He's right there. Rolled off. Rebound to Gildemeister. He's there. Johnson. Almost stolen. And here comes Meisner back into the game. Dave Meisner from way out on the rim. And it goes out of bounds. Out of bounds for Marshall. This is Boyer. To Welton. Boy, they got the weave going. Oh, if this is going to go all the way like this, they're going to be somebody limp. And they're going to be picking up the pieces. Here's Boyer, wide open, layup, drops it in. Here's a pass, intercepted, re-intercepted by Meisner. Lays it up. Tremendous by Dave Meisner. Marshall leads by 3. Ball stolen by Meisner. Here he goes, passes over to Boyer, good. Timeout for Marshall. The score, Marshall 66, Cloquet 65. What a ball game. Lauren Johnson coming down court. The pace has been absolutely fantastic. Here come the Lumberjacks. Boyer. Forrest. Meisner. Breitbarth. Basket count. Calvin McDonald. Here's Meisner. Cloquet leads by 3 with a minute and 35 left. He has made 1, 2, 3 free throws. He has missed 3. Hasn't got it. The Breitbarth gets the rebound. Ball comes out. It's picked up. And a foul call. Timeout for Marshall. The score. Cloquet 74, Marshall 73. At the line will be Dennis Schroeder.
And he makes them.
A lot of ifs in 15 seconds. Can you imagine that? 484 teams playing basketball.
I think they were really pretty calm. I think that Coach Schroeckle says we got 15 seconds, we got a lot of time, we can go down there, we can get a basket, we can win it.
The idea was to get the ball down to me and see if I could go up with it.
Breitbarth.
Everybody collapsed on me. And there was just nowhere I could go with it, but it left. Mike broke into the middle of the free throw.
He just fired the pass out to me. And I shot. and it was only like a 14, 15-foot jump shot, which is a piece of cake.
They're gonna do it, they're gonna pull it out.
Like Denny says,
8, 9, 10 out of times he's going to make that shot.
He shoots.
Goes, pops, bumps.
in and around and spun out.
Mouse and I almost got the rebound again. It was like we fought each other a little bit, I guess. And then after that, it was kind of like a boom, a daze.
There's 3 seconds left in the game. Ball goes over. Mike Forrest. Jump ball. The game is over.
Yeah, just, utter disappointment, to get so close and then to lose. But again, I think we all were deeply saddened, but, there's a winner and there's a loser. Unfortunately, we came up the loser that night.
Coming home, if I remember right, Pine City was the first time we saw somebody in the street or on the road, and it just got better.
And by the time we got into Cloquet, there must have been 500 cars behind us in a caravan.
We had no idea. We had suspected none of that. Caught us totally by surprise.
Big rally. I mean, the parking lot was just full. I mean, everyone was there, mayor and people dressed up then. I mean, people are on Sunday afternoon in shirt and ties, top coats, dress hats.
The little kids and
Yeah.
coming up
For
to
you
want
guys.
autographs. That was beyond me that people would want to do that and signing and my dad was there, when he was live and the crowds and everything and the outpouring of support and
Here, the people are recognizing a bunch of young people who were very successful in what they did, and for some reason because of what they did, the way they worked and the way they played hard and did things on the court, people got attached to them, and they wanted Cloquet to win the whole darn thing, But
The feeling that we got from the people in Cloquet was just magical. I mean, the people just embraced us.
it was a love affair between the city and basketball.
first time I can't talk about it, but I will.
it's memories within each of us that we have that can never be taken away from us. It's very meaningful. It's a close association, close relationships, and you can't take that away.
Probably as generations go by who didn't see that or didn't remember it, it's going to be less and less. That's your job.